Hello everybody and welcome back to Farfield Junction. Once again, another review for you today. As we can see, we've got another loco here for us today, as we can obviously see, and as you've already noticed, we've got a Class 47 for us today, and as we can see, it's in the very nice West Coast Railways livery. I recently picked this up. I actually got this yesterday. I was at the Bath and West Toy and Train Fair. And whilst looking around the stands there, I saw this loco and I just thought I had to have that. So I've been looking for one of these for a while, but they've just been quite high in price. But I managed to get this one for an absolute bargain, so I just thought I really couldn't pass it up, and I just knew I had to get it. So it is a Class 47, and obviously we can see right there, it's glaringly obvious, Class 47. And it's in the West Coast Railways maroon livery. Now it's quite a plain livery, fairly simple, but it's quite a nice livery. I'm sure we've all seen one of these running about on rail tours these days. It is I'm pretty sure it's a brand new model, that's what I was told. I'm not sure it is fully brand new, because the wheels, I have very quickly taken it out of the box just to have a quick look at it to make sure everything was okay. And the wheels do look a bit dirty, so if she is brand new, maybe she's just been very lightly used, because the wheels are a bit dirty. But as we can see, the detailing pack and everything is fully sealed and everything. So she is practically new, I suppose. But yeah, obviously a very nice model. Obviously I don't have many Class 47s. I've only got one other Bachmann Class 47, but it's one of the older versions. So this will be this will be the first new Bachmann Class 47 that I'll have, which is quite nice. Obviously the packaging, we're used to this. If we look on the back of the box, we can see there we've got some information about the Class 47s, so you can read that if you want to. Just feel free to pause and read it if you want to. If we look at the end of the box, we can see, if we just get the sleeve back in, there we go. We can see it's 32-818, Class 47/0, and this particular one is 47245. I'm not sure if I've seen this one before, but I can check to see if I have or not. It's West Coast Railways Company, and it's 21-pin DCC ready. So that's very good. Currently, at the moment, I don't have any spare chips, but I have got a decoder on the way for this particular model. So obviously we won't be able to fit this with DCC in this video, but at least we can still run her on DC and we can still see what she's like and everything. So that's not too bad. Anyway, let's open the packaging up and see what she's like. So we pull out the block of ice, we just put that to one side. We'll have a look at all the rubbish first, because might as well. So it's the usual sort of stuff. I'm sure we're all used to this. We've got product warranty there, and things for the Bachmann Club, I think that is. We'll put that to one side, but that's not very interesting. And then we've got the maintenance and service sheets here. So you can see we've got the nice big diagram there of all the parts, if we need to ever replace any, which you shouldn't really need to, apart from maybe the motor, because obviously you do get motor failures every now and then. But you shouldn't need to replace any parts usually. As we can see, it'll fit in the DCC decoder there. Again, it's a 21-pin decoder, nice and easy to do. And if we go on the other side, we can see there we've got location of body screws and body removal. And on these particular models, I don't know why it's a bit strange removing the bodies on these ones, because as well as removing the body screws, as we can see, so there'll be body screws obviously here, and you can see that obviously there's one at the end as well. But then there's also clips. There's clips, I believe, around by the doors, which you have to also disengage to get the body off. Why it's like that, I really don't know. On my older Bachmann Class 47, which is the BR Green version, I have looked at that before, so if you want to go and see the video on that, then feel free to. But on that particular version, it is literally just a case of removing the body screws and the body comes off. There are no clips on the older version. So I don't know why they've put clips on this version, because, well, for a start, you've got 6 screws holding the body on. So why they need clips as well, I really don't know. But well, I guess it's something we just have to put up with. So if we put that to one side, we can now have a look at the loco. So if we just slide this off, it's a little bit tight. If we just have a quick look at the detailing pack here, there we go. Loads and loads of detailings here. So we've got some snow plows. I'll definitely be fitting one of them. And then we've also got a speaker enclosure. That's quite nice. And we've also got a spare coupling. And we've also got various vacuum tubings and cables and everything. So that's quite good. Although I won't be really fitting any of them anytime soon. But it's nice that we got them. Anyway, let's lift this up, lift the model out, there we go, and put that back, put the sleeve back on, there we go, and we can put that to one side. And here she is. And wow, she is very, very nice for a start, and I'm sure I've done this before, obviously with most of my locos, but she's very heavy, lots and lots of weight, and that's very good. It's all traction, loads and loads of traction, which is good, as we'd expect. Nice sprung buffers. I'm not sure if they're metal or not, I think they are just plastic, but they look very nice. She has got working lights, I'm pretty sure she does, I don't see why she wouldn't, but she should have working lights, and it looks like they do work, so that'd be good. Be good to see those working. We've got some nice handrails on the front there, and they feel like they're made of metal. Well, they might be plastic actually, I'm not sure, but at least we've got some nice handrails there. We've got some by the doors as well. And we can see the driver inside there, that's very, very nice. And it's quite nice to see as well that at this end, we don't have coupling there. But then at this end, we can see we've got the nice standard slimline tension knot coupling. So it's nice that they haven't put couplings on both ends. The livery application is quite nice, you have to ignore my grubby fingerprints. Obviously the livery, it's a very simple livery on these, but it's applied very, very nicely. The branding is very good, you can even feel that there, that's very nice. Overall, the roof, it's okay. I think we've seen better roofs in the past, but it's not too bad. We've got some nice etch grills there with the fans underneath. The fans don't spin, but to us I don't really see the point in working fans, you don't really notice them. But it's not too bad. The roof detail is okay. We've definitely seen more of it, but overall it's not too bad. The bogies are not too bad, they move quite nicely, and we've got some nice painted details on there as well. So we can see the axle boxes are painted yellow, which is quite nice. We've got some colour to some, I think we've got some pipes there or something, the white, that's not too bad. And then the battery boxes and the fuel tank, it's not too bad. It looks like we've got some very small warning signs on there. They don't look too bad. We've also got the warning signs on the side there as well. So it's not too bad. The model is very, very nice. Obviously the livery is quite simple, so we can't really talk about it too much. But it's not too bad. We can see the running number there. Again, I'm not sure if I've seen this one in real life, but I've definitely seen several of these 47s, so I can check through my various photos and footage and stuff, just to see if I have seen this one before. But overall, she's not too bad. Again, obviously, there's not an awful lot to say. Obviously, there is quite a lot of detail, but I'm sure we're used to a lot of this detail. Obviously, the livery, again, obviously it's very simple, so there's not an awful lot to say about the livery. But overall, it's not a bad model. Obviously, in loads of separately fitted detail, including more handrails along the front. We've got a nice delicate antenna there. The wipers are separately fitted, and they look very good as well. The cab detail, there's not a lot of cab detail, to be honest. It is there, but it's not painted or anything. But to be honest, it's not the easiest cab to see anyway. So I suppose that's not too bad really. But if we look at the wheels are, as we can see, they are a little bit dirty. So she's definitely been ran before, but as for how much she's been used, I'm not sure. I was told when I bought her that she was brand new. Obviously, she's definitely not brand new because it looks like she has been used. But if she has been ran, I doubt she's been ran very much. We've also got the switches there. So we got, if you wanted to on DC. Obviously this won't matter too much to me because I use DCC, but if you want to on DC, you've got the switches there, so you can, if you wanted to, you can have the cab lights on or off when she's running, and then you've also got the option for the tail lights as well, and that's very, very nice. But overall, she's not a bad model. She's definitely not a bad model. She's very, very nice, very good detail, very good weight, very nice livery application. I just can't fault her really. But I suppose the next thing to do is put her on the track and see how she runs. Now before that, I will give her wheels a clean before we run her, just to make sure she's got nice clean wheels. The track is nice and clean, I cleaned it yesterday, so we should have some very nice reliable operation. But anyway, let's get her on the track and see how she runs. Hey, hello everybody and welcome over to the layout. I'm sure we're all used to seeing sort of this section of track now. And now, as you've seen, I did just say that we'd now put the loco on the layout and see how she runs. However, I'm actually going to I'm going to have to do a rain check on that actually. Now don't worry, there's nothing actually physically wrong with the loco really, nothing obvious anyway. But I have just I have cleaned the wheels just to make sure that they're nice and clean, and they are nice and clean now, and they should be fine. However, on testing her, the model just seemed to run a little bit slow, and something just didn't seem right. So I did take the body off just to make sure everything was okay, and everything does seem to be okay. And after running her around a few times, she does seem to be speeding up now. And obviously, I know that you do need to run locos in, and obviously that could just be why she could just not have been ran so much, that she's just not used to running, which is why she runs really slow. However, I have taken the body off, and now that I've taken the body off, obviously taking the body off on these locos isn't very easy to do, and it was quite a bit of hassle to get the body off. However, now that it's off, it's actually proving more difficult to get it back on. The body just doesn't really want to go back on. Now what I've decided to do is, if I just bring the chassis into shots for you. Here we go, this is the chassis of the loco here. I have put some oil on the worm gears and the gears and the bogies to make sure everything's properly lubricated. However, the body just doesn't really want to go back on very easily on these models. Now, it's probably just a case, it's just the way it's designed, that they're just not very easy to get back on. However, what I've decided to do is, I'm going to run the model in like this without the body on. And once I've done that, I'm then probably going to wait for the decoder for the model to arrive. I'll then fit the decoder, program everything, and once she's all run in and chipped and everything, then we'll come back and we'll see her run properly. Now I know that's probably maybe not the best thing to do, as really you're probably more interested in seeing how the model runs on DC and how she is out of the box. However, as you know, a lot of the models that I do, I'm reviewing them after I've had them for a while, so they're already run in and chipped and everything. So that's basically what I'm going to do with this one. Is I'll run her in like this. I'll get her chipped once the chip arrives, either tomorrow or the following day. And once she's chipped and ran in and everything, and I manage to get the body back on finally, we'll then come back then. We'll see how she performs then. Get some coaches behind her. Then we'll really see what she's like. So I'll get the chassis running in, get the model running. Then I'll come back once she's run in, chips and everything. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay, hello everybody and welcome back. It's quite a lot later than what I thought it was going to be. So it's actually a few days later since you've just seen the chassis when I started running the chassis and everything. However, unfortunately, things did take a turn, unfortunately, after running the model in. Basically, you may have noticed, I'm not sure if you did notice or not, however, I'm pretty sure I did mention about the model running quite slow when running it, and you may have also noticed the model was very loud and it didn't sound very happy when running. And basically, if I just bring the model into shot for you, you can see the loco here. Basically, I've had to fit a brand new motor to the loco. The old motor was basically almost pretty much at the end of its life. It really was not happy running the old motor. And the old motor is just here. This is the old motor from the model, and the model has been fully stripped down. And I've had to fit the motor in here. It's not a brand new motor. I haven't brought a brand new motor from Bachmann, but I did have a few spare motors lying around from old models that I'd stripped down. So I've basically gone and put a spare motor that I took from an old Bachmann Class 66 and put it into the loco, because a lot of Bachmann diesels, I'm pretty sure they do all use the same motor like this. So I've gone and fitted a brand new motor to the loco, and now that I've done that, she is now running far better. Basically, the old motor, whilst there's not really anything obviously wrong with it, basically it's quite seized up. It's not turning very easily. If I were to spin this and let go, there should be a fair bit of momentum, and the motor should spin for a fair amount after I've basically let go of it. But the model is quite rough. Basically, the motor is quite rough and it is quite badly seized. And because of that, motors that are seizing up, if a motor is starting to seize up, it does draw more currents and it does damage the motor. So that's why I've had to replace the motor. This motor it's just not cut out for the job anymore. It really is at the end of its life. Why it's seizing up, I don't know. Some said it could be that the brushes have pretty much met the end of their life, and that's why it could be seizing up. but either way, this motor is not fit for purpose anymore. So that's why I've had to replace the motor. There wasn't really anything else I could do really, because this motor just really wasn't up to the job anymore. It's definitely at the end of its life. It's basically useless. There's nothing I can do with it really. So that's why it's a few days later, because I've had to fully strip down the model, pretty much dismantle almost everything, just to get the old motor out and put the new one in. But we're finally here after a lot of pain and anguish, because it was very stressful. We're finally here. The new motor's been fitted. She's also had her chip fitted. The chip that's in this model now, if I just put the loco onto the track, the particular decoder that's gone into this loco, it's one of the DCC Concepts AE decoders, I believe they are. If I just grab the instruction manual, here we go. We see here AE model. It's a DCC Concepts brand sort of decoder, I believe. I don't think it says on the packaging, but it is a DCC Concepts decoder, and it's an AE one. And these decoders, they're amazing. For a start, they're very, very cheap. They don't cost you an awful lot of money. And you may think that when you spend such a low amount of money on a decoder, that it's not going to be very good. However, with this decoder, that's not true. For the small amount of money that you pay, you really do get an excellent quality decoder. It's really good. It's quite loud. To be honest, the humming that comes from these decoders is quite loud. However, the performance is amazing. It's really smooth. It's not jerky at all. It's so smooth. And the motor's nice and smooth as well. It's really good. She's still at the moment programmed to the typical number 3. I haven't changed the address or anything yet. So currently the decoder is still on its factory settings. But if we just put the lights on, that's the tail lights. We just put the headlights on, and if I just give her a bit of a wiggle for you can see how smooth this decoder is. It's really good. There you go. If I go back the other way. I really just can't fault this decoder. It's so nice. This is probably going to be my go-to 21-pin decoder now, because it's so good. To be honest, I think it's even better than the Bachmann ones, and they cost around twice as much. So it goes to show you, spending more money is not always better. But anyway, it's taken a lot of time, but finally the loco is actually running properly. Obviously this is how she should have run out of the box, but oh well. Sometimes you do get new locos that do end up having dodgy motors. Now, before you start putting comments down saying I should have returned it and everything, basically I can't, because I bought this model from a train fair, so it wouldn't have been possible to return the model even if I wanted to. However, that's perfectly fine with me, because I did get it for a bargain price, and also I'm very used to stripping down locos. I know what I'm doing when it comes to dismantling locos and carrying out serious work on them. So for me, it's perfectly fine. And also, I didn't have to spend any money for any replacement parts, because I already had a spare motor and everything lying around. So for me, it was perfectly fine. Now the next thing to do is I'm actually going to couple some coaches to her. So I'm not going to run her around like this and then put some coaches on. We're just going to go straight into it. I've got 5 Bachmann Maroon Mark 1s here. If I just bring them around and couple them up to the loco. There we go. Now, just to mention, if you do start hearing a clicking noise coming from the loco, I think there might be something caught in one of the bogies in the gears somewhere. It only happens in one direction, so I thought I'd mention that. I will sort it out at some point. It's only started doing it since I put the model back together, but it's definitely coming from this bogie here. So wherever it is, I'm not sure, but I'll get it fixed at some point. But it's not too serious, so I thought I'd just mention that. If you do hear a clicking noise coming from the loco, don't worry too much. But anyway, enough rambling on. Let's get the loco running, and we can finally see how she runs. Okay, so you may be able to hear that clicking noise coming from the bogie. It doesn't seem to be too noticeable with the coaches behind the loco. But overall, once you get this loco working properly, it's not too bad. It's nice and smooth. I really can't fault it, to be honest. Obviously, I did have to do way too much work to her than what I should have needed to. But overall, she's not too bad. A very good loco.